Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me.
Welcome to the Jacob Wayne Show. I am your Jacob Wayne, and with me once again is the magnanimous and unstoppable Kellen Gibbons. How are you doing, buddy?
Woo. Doing well. Good to be back again. Get back on the regular thing.
Yeah, for sure. Let's hop right into it. What you sipping on, sir?
Oh, I think I've had one of these on the show before. I've got the good old blended pistachio mocha from Cafe Ibis.
Hell yeah.
Yep, tasty.
I'm sipping on some coffee that's a little watered down because I need to buy more coffee. And in order to calm my nerves, because I got a gamma pa show later, is a beer mosa using orange juice and a Montucky cold snack.
Nice. That's totally a show pa. That's hilarious. You guys got to put that in some merch or something.
It's so show pa. Any food things, travel things, band updates going on with you?
Let's see. I know nothing in the last week's really been coming up new. Did I talk about the pizza of the month at Jack's Pizza this month?
No, why don't you hit us with that?
It's no longer. It was the pizza of last month, so I'll say farewell to it. I did get it today because it's like, they still had a little bit left, but they did the I don't remember what they called it, but it's like a Reuben pizza. And but it had didn't they usually get different kinds of pastrami on there, but this time they found these really big like cubed pieces, and it was like really smoky and some sauerkraut, some potatoes, and some Thousand Island and a pickle on the side. Oh man, that was a good pizza, and we'll hope to see it again in a year.
Sure. Was the Thousand Island like the base sauce, or was it a drizzle on top?
It was a little drizzle, a light drizzle.
So it still had a marinara.
No, it was some kind. I'm not sure what it was. It wasn't like an Alfredo either, though. I'm not sure what the base sauce was. Maybe it was just some like oil. Might have just been a little bit of oil.
Yeah. Did it have any of the kraut on there? Sauerkraut?
Yeah, that was on there. Yeah.
Nice.
I liked it.
Yeah, I like me a Reuben. I meant to get one for St. Patrick's Day, but just didn't work out that way.
Yeah.
And anyway, St. Patrick's Day is a day for drunks. I don't even think it's like officially really that Irish of a holiday anymore. It's just like, let's all get fucking smashed and green.
Yeah.
One side note, I will say though, a lot of people are falling off on the South Park. Don't really watch it as much anymore, but they did a St. Patrick's Day special.
Oh yeah.
To wrap up their season. I think they only did 6 episodes this season.
Oh wow.
And but they're doing a bunch of like longer specials on Paramount Plus or whatever. But anyways, if you have HBO Max, you can watch that, or if you still have TV and Comedy Central and things like that, I'm sure you could probably catch it.
Yeah.
But the St. Patrick's Day special was pretty damn funny.
Nice.
And then the episode before that, doing airsoft guns with teenagers was pretty funny too. So yeah.
Well, some kid just got arrested here for that. It wasn't airsoft, it was another thing. That's funny.
Well, yeah. With that, let's just get into the thing that everybody's been talking about, shall we? Have you been up to date on the Will Smith Chris Rock slap?
Yeah. Indeed,
right.
I have been outside and looked at my phone.
So I kind of thought there's a couple things we could do with this. I went and pulled the audio, and split it up into little sound bites.
Oh, nice.
And so we can kind of work our way through it real quick, just in case any of you have not heard it, or you can hear it today. We can't show it to you. And then we're going to decide, since that filled up my soundboard so much, we're going to retire an old soundboard clip.
Oh, no.
And then, we'll keep filtering it out with the new, fresh stuff.
Okay.
So, all right. For those of you that didn't see the event, let me see if I got this in the correct order. Yeah, he made, before we even get into the sound bites, he pointed out Jada Pinkett Smith, Will Smith's wife, and said, G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it, which was in reference to a joke he made before that, which is both Javier Bardem and Penelope Cruz were both nominated for acting awards. So basically, if Javier Bardem wins, if Penelope Cruz loses, then Javier Bardem can't win, because then they'll have to fight about it because they're a couple, cute little Academy Awards joke.
Yeah.
And then he comes back, and then he's like, and another couple, Will Smith, Jada Pinkett Smith, and G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it.
Yeah.
Jada Pinkett's bald. I didn't know she had alopecia. I just thought she rocked the bald head look. And look, as a bald man, I think I get to say a little something here, and I do understand the difference between male pattern baldness and females getting alopecia and losing their hair. I get that it's a totally different thing, but get the fuck over it. Alopecia isn't cancer or AIDS. It's not going to kill you. You rock it. You're still a good looking lady. And it's a dumb joke.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, if it really bothered you, blow up his Twitter after the event. And at most, I'm even cool with Will Smith yelling out,
keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
I'm like, still kind of uncalled for, but verbal for verbal, right? Yeah. So anyway, we're gonna walk through this real quick. It starts out, he says the G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it.
Oh, wow.
So there's the slap. Slaps him. Everybody's like, what the fuck? What happened? All this stuff. And then he goes kind of walks off like Big Willie style, wicked wild, wicked wild, haha.
Yeah.
Just fucking being an ass. And the way he walked away, you're like, oh, this must be an Academy Award bit or something like that. But then he looks a little stunned, and Chris Rock goes,
wow. Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me.
And I do have those separated out into two little things. And Will Smith goes,
yeah.
Which I will say, to break away from this for a moment, we have 3 yeses on the soundboard now. We have
yes.
Yeah.
They're all very unique yeses.
Yeah, they're very different.
This one's sexual.
Yes.
This one's more ominous, dramatic.
Yes.
And then if we say you and me were disagreeing about something on the podcast, Will Smith just might interject with a kind of curt, very angry. So then Chris Rock goes,
it was a G.I. Jane joke.
And you can already hear it crossing over, but immediately Will Smith,
keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
Now, that's the second time he says it. The first time it's too much audio crossover, so I just didn't even bother throwing it on.
Oh.
And then Chris Rock goes,
wow, dude.
Which is a pretty good sound trip.
Yeah.
Ain't gonna lie. And I didn't take this clip out because it's a little too subtle, but then he goes I could I'm just gonna, all right. And then he like clears his head. And in that moment, I bet you Chris Rock was ready to just go into like decades of comedic ability and just, I'm going to rip into both of you. Because at the end of the day, what everybody was talking about, other than bullshit philosophy about whether it was okay to slap somebody or not for a joke, was people were like, he wasn't really mad at Chris. He was mad that his wife's been fucking her son's friends, like son's friend, some rapper dude, and like Will's a cuck and all this stuff like that.
Ah,
And so there's all this tension, and it's like, yeah, over the last couple of years, Jada Pinkett Smith has done nothing but embarrass Will Smith publicly, basically saying, you weren't giving it to me like I wanted it, and I went and got it from this other guy, like on a Facebook red table thing that they do.
well,
And yeah, I mean, Will Smith's been having to eat that for a while. Like, I don't got to cuss on my raps to sell records. Fuck him and fuck you too. Like, like he's always been like kind of like, yeah, you think you're cool, Mr. Blockbuster, but you're kind of a giant pussy. And so I think it's just layering and layering of just shit in his head.
yeah,
Which I was ready to be like, whatever. It's an ugly moment. We fucked up. Whatever. I'm not going to act like just because we're here and they're celebrities that they're not suspect to like human moments. And I can't even imagine. It's a doorbell. Wasn't expecting that. Uh-oh, Will Smith's here. He's going to fucking...
Yeah.
smack.
But anyway, I'm just going to leave that. That's probably mail or something.
Yeah.
But then he doesn't apologize to Chris Rock in the speech. He makes it about protecting, being a protector and being a vessel of love. And that at your highest moment, that's when the devil comes for you. And I hate that shit in general anyways. It's like in sports when there's like a dude who's just like, I just won the Super Bowl and I'd like to thank God. It's like, no, like thank yourself for years of training and being able to do that. Like
Yeah.
it's got nothing to do with God.
Yeah.
Like shut up. But then Shockey pointed out to me, it's like he just basically called Chris Rock the devil. And it's just like,
Huh.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. Like the devil came for him with the G.I. Jane joke. And it's just like, that's just so fucking stupid. And then there's footage of Will Smith like dancing to Big Willie style after the event. So you could tell he didn't give a fuck. He's all emotional, accepting his award. He apparently refused to leave. And the police were like ready to come in and like, do you want us to take him out, arrest him, do what? And Chris Rock's like, nah. Which I get, because it's like he'd lose some street cred with that move. He's kind of just got to take the slap. And I think he took it pretty well. But so that day I watched the movie that Will Smith was nominated for, King Richard, and he plays an unstable asshole in that movie. And I was like, man, what a weird role for Will Smith. I haven't seen him do anything like that. Yeah, it's pretty good. Maybe he should win. I don't know. And then I didn't have a way to watch the show, so I was just on my computer later gaming, and then Shockey's just like, dude, they're like, what? He's just like, Will Smith just smacked Chris Rock in the Oscars. And I'm like, what? Like, so it was like a double down Will Smith just being a fucking weirdo day for me. And so it's like, I couldn't leave it alone. I love comedy and fuck violence and reaction to humor, no matter how bad or distasteful it is. So, but my thing was light. I was like, wow, I didn't think I was going to see Will Smith be an unstable asshole in 2 roles today, but here we are. And what annoyed me is that just my thing fills up with memes, which is fine and understandable, but I'm like, my reaction's a little more like, no, this is kind of fucked up that this violent thing just happened and no repercussions. And like, kind of like, fuck that. Like, no, like that's a horrible precedent to set on
Yeah.
TV, I think.
I know that they said they asked him to leave, but he wouldn't.
Yeah.
It's like,
And it's like,
right.
and that's when you handcuff him and walk him out.
Yeah, where
But
do you?
I guess he's above the law or whatever. But
Yeah.
anyway, to wrap that up, then people got on. It's like, well, the joke, like, do you know about Jada's condition? And I'm like, no, I've never heard of it. Then I look it up. She has alopecia. I'm like, oh, well, I know what that is. And like,
Yeah.
sure, distasteful, but fuck you. It's like, if you have alopecia or you're bald, like, once again, I know it's not equal.
Yeah.
You know how many fucking shitty bald jokes I've had thrown my way? Like, oh, you'll never find love in your life because you're bald. Like,
That's not
ow.
even a joke.
You're just like, fuck. But you take it, or you spin it around on them, or you're just like, fuck that person. I don't like them. And but that's kind of the extent. And one person came on and she's like, he's actually, let me read it. I'm gonna call this motherfucker out because I don't think they even listen to this show. And if they do, they can write in. But I won't say their name. But I gotta find it real quick. Why don't you give me a little bit of your thoughts while I'm looking that up?
I mean, I think what you said is fuck that person, I don't like him is the answer. And anytime somebody says anything, like you shouldn't let, like at this point especially, where if you smack somebody you can go to jail, just don't listen to like words. You just gotta ignore them. Don't let words affect you at all unless you want them to. Don't let people make fun of you, or even if they're being not making fun, just being thinking they're being truthful or whatever. You know, it's gotta,
Yeah.
nothing you can do about it. Yeah,
Well, and I think
I
that
agree with
has
you.
been a bit of a toxic thing in our culture the last, like, since 2016, where
Yeah,
somehow there's this like speech and violence crossover thing.
yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, no, like, I hate to say it, but if you're a fucking Nazi rally, as long as you're doing it peacefully and in the streets, like, you do have the right to do it. That's like probably one of the most
I
punchable
know.
things I
And
can think of, but
and
you
then we
still
could all
don't
go,
get to punch them.
yeah, we could all go take pictures and let everybody know who they are. Fine,
Yeah.
sure. And then people can not associate with them. Cool.
Well,
Done.
that's kind of how I think you do it. You got to bring that shit out in the light.
Mhm.
Like, light and truth and awareness is the best disinfectant.
Yeah.
And I don't know, there's just something about shunning people away and saying you can't talk like that and then keeping it more buried is just, that's gonna lead to uglier stuff. I think that leads
Yeah.
to like the incels on your 4chans and whatnot. Like, just, yeah, no, let them
Well, you're
come out
gonna
and
end up
say their
proving them
weird
right.
shit and let them say it publicly and be like, wow, that's kind of wild. You know what? This is why you're not getting laid. And I'm, like, but don't freak out on them, because then they'll
Yeah.
just keep it in here. And
Yeah.
that's what's weird, is I feel like I'm comparing incels and Nazis to comedians, and they're not even
Exactly. That's the
anywhere
whole thing.
close. But anyway, I'll read this. This person that reacted to my joke online was saying the punch was just like Chris's jokes, a punch to the gut. Well, what? So a punch to the gut. Anyway, Chris is rude and makes people laugh by clowning on others. Although I don't think fighting is always the answer, this fool Chris had it coming for a long time. Making jokes about people is not funny. Making jokes about people is not funny.
That
Yes, it is.
that
And
has been proven to
everybody
be
should
false.
be able to be made fun of.
Have you ever heard the Champagne Room? It's kind of hilarious.
And it's just like, wow. And it's just like his jokes are like a punch to the gut. No, they weren't. No, they weren't. Fuck you. No, they're not.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, I'm bringing up my alopecia, making people think about it. And I could see that, like, fucking you up and fucking with you.
Ah.
And then I getting online after or whatever and being like, fuck Chris Rock. He's an asshole. He's always been an asshole. Blah, 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 blah. Like, whatever it is. But and then they've made it all this other culture war type thing. Like, it's like, well, you can't speak on it as a white cis male because in our culture we have to defend black women because blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, don't bring it to that level. It's this rich
Further
motherfucker.
dividing.
It's this rich motherfucker, Jada Pinkett Smith and Will Smith, getting away with something that if we were to do it, we'd get fucked in the ass for it.
They are under new rules when you're in Hollywood, and I don't mean like
And
as
it's
far
like,
as some people take it, but yeah, it's a different
and it's like,
thing
I
now.
hate to say it, I get that there's that difference culturally, but that doesn't change my fucking mind.
Yeah,
Bad joke. You don't get to hit somebody over that. Sorry.
yeah, yep.
Like, it's not a cultural thing that I should be sensitive to. It's like, no, it's violence. Fuck you.
Yeah.
It's like, I want to respect that there is these cultural differences that we should all be aware of and respect, but that's not one of them. So, yeah, and it annoyed me, the discourse about this thing, even more than the thing itself, because the thing itself is like shocking and kind of funny.
Yeah.
Ain't gonna lie. But it's just
Yeah.
like, oh God, like, just bad. So anyway, I think we've covered all that.
Indeed.
But those are all pretty good sound drops. We'll just go, there's...
Wow! It was a G.I. Jane jump. That was a greatest night in the history of television. Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth!
Oh, wow! Wow, dude!
All right. Let's just running through all of them.
That's a
Now,
lot.
do you remember all the old sound bites we have? Is there one that you're ready to let go of right now?
Well, I don't know. We do have 3 yeses, and I think the sexy yes is the one that needs to stay.
Yeah.
And maybe the Will Smith one is fun too, to have an option. But
all right, so let's just hit these a little bit.
Yes.
It's the Morpheus, yes.
Yes.
My thought was like, how much do we use this one?
I will make this jug disappear.
that's true. That one's very situational.
It's very hard to use.
That would be probably one on the chopping block, or but I'll take it off for a while and come back someday. Who knows?
Sure. It like comes into play. I don't know. So for those listeners that give a shit, you should write in and say, what is the one that goes? What is on the chopping block?
It can't be the horns.
No way. That's just too easy to use. But my vote is for, I have it as jug. It's I'll make this jug disappear.
Wow.
That's my vote.
Word.
I don't know. You got a vote? You're gonna go with the
No, I'll
Morpheus
vote with
yes?
that one.
Have
No,
the jug?
I would say jug over the Morpheus yes. The Morpheus yes is good and usable. So
All right. So if we get some feedback that overrides our 2 votes, this is a democracy. But if you vote against us, we're gonna come to your house and we're gonna smack the shit out of you.
whoa.
I'm sorry.
Wow,
no,
dude.
we'll just get rid of it. All right, you ready for music talk?
Yeah.
I made some slight adjustments to the song. So here we go.
A little.
What's nice about this is I can work in other stuff on it.
It was a G.I. Jane jump. Oh, wow! Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me.
Name out your fucking mouth!
Wow, dude! Wow! That was a greatest night in the history of television.
All righty.
Nice.
Yeah.
Updated.
So we'll hop into new releases real quick. I will mention that you came on to the other segment that we throw up on our audio feed and YouTube channel, the Albuminate album reviews.
Yeah.
And we did a review of Horror, the album Skin. And we should have a new one coming up for the holy shit, brain fart. Cowboy Junkies for what's the name of the album again?
I have it right here. Songs. Sorry, it's cut off.
Collectible
Songs of the Recollection.
Songs of the Recollection. So yeah, one of those is coming up. And it's a pretty great record, but you'll learn more about it by listening to that, which will be released before this comes out.
There you go.
So if you didn't already see it pop up, go give it a listen. But
Nice.
new releases, there's 3 new songs by Soften the Glare. And that's always nice. They're just churning them out.
Hell yeah.
Not much to say about those other than the fact that they try new little things and it rocks. But it's like pretty much what you've come to expect from those guys. There's a new album that we might have to review as well. It's from the Gray Boy All Stars called Get a Job.
Hell yeah. That's a good song.
Yeah, that hits home at me right now. I'm a little bit in the job hunt. I'm like, oh boy. You're right, Gray Boy All Stars. There's a new track, I believe. Yes, it's just a track. Rose Street by Vince Staples. I released that Music Drop song as a Lobe Daddy track. Care to listen to it. There's a new track that's like one of those duo mashups that they've been doing lately between Dumb Numbers and the Melvins called Broken Pipe. And then the 2 big ones that we will probably end up doing reviews pretty soon is Meshuggah's new album, Immutable, and Red Hot Chili Peppers' Unlimited Love.
When did those come out? Or
Today.
do they have come out? Wow.
We're recording on Friday, so if you're listening, this is the Wednesday after. But
yeah, drop today. Shit.
Yep. So we'll have to digest those a little bit before we can speak on them. I've listened to the Meshuggah one at least once through, and it's pretty great. But I ain't gonna get all deep into it because that's what the Albuminates are for. So, you got any new releases or music news on your radar?
I haven't heard of any. No, nothing on this end. So,
all righty. Well, cool. I think with that, we did cover movie news pretty good as far as the Chris Rock Oscar Awards thing goes.
That is the movie news of the week.
I will do a recap of the actual awards from the award ceremony with Mike pretty soon here. And I will just say this, that my predictions of who was going to win, I kicked ass. I think I called most of it. Because I know how their fucking brains work there. You know, I only eat a little bit of baby, but it syncs me up with how these Hollywood types think. Yeah.
Yeah, just a little bit of that adrenochrome.
Yeah. You just, you don't snap the neck. You just snap like the finger a little bit and then like a little cut. You put it in your coffee and just, yeah.
Yep.
Think we're going to get canceled for that or canceled for defending Chris Rock?
But yes.
Yes. All righty. But with that, seen any new movies, new shows you're watching or?
Yeah, I watched a fun one last night I'd never seen, Death at a Funeral.
Oh,
with
there's
Chris Rock.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that's a remake.
Yeah, of a British movie.
Yeah. I was trying to remember if it was British or French. I thought
so
it
I'm
was
gonna watch.
foreign
I
film.
think we're gonna watch the British movie next, but that was a really good movie. That was hilarious.
I will say, I don't think I really watched much since the last time around. Did we talk about Drive My Car?
I don't think so.
Okay. I watched that. That was a Japanese film that was nominated for Best Picture. And that's kind of what I thought should have won, even though I didn't see what did win, which was Coda. And yeah, I guess I watched King Richard, and I'd already talked about that a little bit. So yeah, I just watched two of the Best Picture nominees, and they were both pretty good. All I will say is that King Richard is like very predictable biopic, and it's just like about pretty much Venus and Serena Williams, their biopic, but it focuses on their dad who raised them and trained them in kind of a weird fucking way.
Oh god, I haven't. That sounds interesting.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's very like generic, like what would have won Best Picture back in the 90s. Like now they have to be like a little more art house or controversial, or like a cowboy has to blow another cowboy kind of thing to like get anywhere. But so in a weird way, it's like it would have been nice if that one. It's like a throwback to like Forrest Gump winning or some shit.
Yeah.
But no, but now, yeah, I don't like Will Smith. Like I didn't like him much to begin with, but I really don't like him now. So he is an ass in this movie. So if you're into it, it's a pretty good movie. But I will say, I don't know. I'm not totally like boycotting Will Smith, but like I really don't like him now. So chances of me watching his stuff in the future is like gone down even more than it already was after Earth and Wild Wild West. But anyways, the other movie, Drive My Car, really long but pretty engaging all the way through if you're into the characters in the story. Like basically the first 45 minutes of it is like the backstory to set up the rest of the story. So it plays for 45 minutes and then the title comes up and like the title credits.
Damn.
So you're just like, oh, okay, wow. All right. But it's just essentially a story about how one copes with loss and regret, like in terms of relationships and how you were with the other people in your life, and can you ever really know another person. And it's really good. I liked it a lot. So I would say it's a perfect, like both of those movies in a way, they're perfect like weekend afternoon movies, like when you're just kind of sitting around and I got some hours to kill, just throw this on and kind of snack, maybe sit on my phone for just a minute. Obviously, Drive My Car, you got to read the subtitles, so you need to be a little more on top of it. But yeah. Nice. So that's what I thought should have won, but I still need to see Coda.
Word. Good to know.
All right. Well, I don't really have much else. So we can get into this day in history, which is, I feel like we've missed this a couple times when we've done this. We're recording Friday, April 1st, 2022. So this is this day in history for April 1st.
Yay. So, Sergei Rachmaninoff was born in 1873.
Who's that guy?
He was a famous Russian musician and composer. He wrote probably one of the most famous piano concertos. Like his Piano Concerto No. 2 is like considered one of the like top piano concertos. It's really good too. I recommend everybody listen to it. There's actually like part of it.
We can do this again. How do you spell his name?
Rachmaninoff.
Rachmaninoff Piano Concerto 2.
Yeah. So like there's a part in this piece that like is like a metal song like drop. It's super cool.
Okay.
So like he's just awesome.
A calendar date that
So yeah, he's a cool composer, lots of stuff to check out. That's my favorite. Yeah, that's heavy, see? That's some Russian stuff.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, comrade. What else we got?
Let's see. On 2004, Google started Gmail. Ah, what a beautiful day. Happy birthday, Gmail.
Sure, I like Gmail.
In 2001, so long ago, the Netherlands became the first country to grant equal marriage rights to same-sex couples. 2001. Let's see. The mid-air collision of a U.S. spy plane and a Chinese fighter jet.
Wow! China.
Marvin Gaye was shot and killed by his father in 1984. Rip in peace.
Daddy, chill.
What the hell is even that?
True that. Apple Computer was started in 1976.
But Apple now?
666, the mark of the beast.
True that. 1954, the United States Air Force Academy was created by an act of Congress and was built in Colorado Springs.
That's right. Who do you think you are? I am.
The U.S. troops stormed Okinawa in 1945.
Naughty! Naughty jungle of love!
The Royal Air Force was formed. That's interesting.
Yes.
And Scott Joplin, who was known as the King of Ragtime, died in a mental institution in 1917. He's one of my favorites. I love Scott Joplin.
What does he do?
He did all those like ragtime, like all those little piano tunes. Ah, the best, dude. I love it. The Entertainer.
Yeah.
You know that shit.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
See, that's a melody you can.
Yeah, the ragtime is all those melodies. Yeah.
All right, but he died of
In a mental
dementia?
institution. Yeah. Interesting.
Oh, do we got a sad one?
He was too jazzy.
Hmm.
You got to get that sad trombone.
Yeah, we need a couple sad ones because this one's not gonna work.
Yeah, not good.
But maybe they could have taken better care of him, you know?
She was abusive to the staff.
I don't know. All right.
Nice.
Well, I like this. Every time there's a composer comes on, we can play their music.
Yeah, they're all been old enough. Hopefully it keeps happening.
Yeah, I'm into it. I like the nice little the blanket it gives.
Yeah. It's
But
nice.
Kellen, just remember.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth!
All right. What was it again? Okay.
It was a G.I. Jane joke.
All right, buddy. It's been real.
Good times. We'll see y'all next week.
All right. Ta-ta!
Bye.
Thank you for listening to The Jacob Wayne Show. If you would like to contact us, please write us at fakoshka@gmail.com. That is FAKOSHKA@gmail.com. You can find us on Spotify, iTunes, and YouTube. Simply search The Jacob Wayne Show and it should pop right up. Make sure you like and subscribe and leave a review and share this podcast with your friends. Please write us. It helps add content to the show and makes the show even better for you, the listener. Thanks for tuning in.
Welcome to the
Welcome to the